last night.
What'd that
cut
thing?
right to the chase. Warriors season opener. I always like to make a distinction between lost and get beat. They got beat last night by the Suns. They didn't play great, but they didn't give the game away.
No doubt. They fought, and partner, I'll tell you this before I get into it. We got baseball. We got NFL football. We got the NBA starting. This is my Christmas, okay? So I just got to start with that. I'm in a good spot. Steiny, when you go 10 of 44 from deep, which the Warriors did collectively, you're not going to win many games. And I'm going to slow down on my observation about this whole Chris Paul acquisition because Draymond Green is a big part of this team, and he was not out there. No excuses. I thought they were going to win after a couple Devin Booker turnovers, but I will say this. I felt like they were more methodical, and it was dribble, rather than just run than I'm accustomed to. And maybe that's the Jordan Poole, residue. But Steiny, I didn't feel like they got out and ran. And, hey, it's one game. They got Sacramento and a nasty road trip coming up here, but I was hoping they got one. But before I throw it back to you, can I tell you my biggest takeaway? And I'm your guy.
Sure.
I don't like this game by game, whoever's playing well, you finish. And I was happy for Kuminga, mad at him, then he missed those free throws and got the offensive foul. It happens. But Steiny, I'm starting the Andrew Wiggins not in crunch time in game one, and I can't defend what he was not doing. No defensive rebounds, but I'm like, where can this thing get off the track? Wiggins is arguably the second best player. That was odd. It's 4 quarters. I'm going to relax, but I'm like, and Kerr said it after the game. It's going to be a game-by-game thing on who finishes, and I don't know if that, I'm not second-guessing you, Coach, but that can be dicey because you can lose some guys mentally.
Interesting.
Said I was going to keep it short, but go ahead.
No. Yeah. It's a lot to react to there. Oh, man, there's so much to talk
me,
about.
Steiny.
Here's my big takeaway from last night.
I got my pen.
It feels like they're still small. They're still small, and that's one thing. But you can't be small and not athletic. And it feels like they have a chance to be that way when they have certainty. Let's just put the rat on the table.
Brought to you by Atco.
Steph, Clay, Chris Paul, Looney, Saric. They're not really athletic, but you need all those guys because they're really good and they're experienced. The athletic guys on the team, they need to be more consistent. Kuminga, Payton, Wiggins. Those are their 3 probably best athletes. But who can you rely on among those 3? You can rely on Payton's defense. I'll give him that. But
he was playing some hellified D yesterday.
But he can't score.
Yeah.
And then Wiggins floats occasionally, and Kuminga is erratic. So if that's the way they are, or that's the way Kerr sees them, at least for now, then none of those guys is going to get an assurance to play a lot,
man.
And then you're not very athletic.
That's not a good recipe. But I appreciate that take, Steiny. Can I give you my positive?
Yeah.
11 turnovers. And I'm giving the flowers to Chris Paul on that. And I know that's not how you win a game. You want to minimize that. But they did have 5 of those 11 in the fourth quarter. Steiny, and people listening, YouTube, Twitch, I love you guys. I never once doubted Chris Paul's game. It's just his availability. And I gotta work through that. But with that said, Steiny, he has a lot left defensively. He was getting after it, but Steph Curry in foul trouble as early as he was, if you're telling me, Coach Kerr, we're going to see Clay guarding the 4s or whatnot, and Curry's going to be guarding the best offensive player like a Devin Booker or Steiny, that's not a good formula. Moving forward, the chef must be protected at all times. They didn't shoot well at all. Steiny, they didn't shoot well at all, him and Clay.
No. Look, you know what? Chris
Paul 0 for 6?
Can we also they look like last year. They looked exactly like last year.
Break their little go.
The same thing. You know, a lot of threes. They didn't shoot. They're not shooting the threes as well as they used to back in the heyday of their team. They're small. They're not overly athletic. They've also got to find an identity.
And how can you do that without Draymond?
Well,
got
you
a
can't.
Fresh haircut by Bronny Blends, sitting on the sideline with the indoor shades. I love that look. But I'll say this, Steiny, to what you're talking about. The fouls, you know, we've seen a lot of fouls, but, you know, 23 last night. I got to slow my roll, but I am concerned on a few things. But if you're going to shoot it like they did last night collectively, you're going to lose a lot of games. And then I wonder this. You tell me if you give me a nickel for this. They had that great fourth quarter, 40-19. Shocked me.
Third quarter.
Yeah, third quarter. Right. Excuse me. Do you think some gas was out of the tank for the fourth? But yeah, I know every player didn't play but that's how I'm looking at this team. And the word methodical keeps coming up, and you keep talking about age, but I'm like, they're not going to be the young athletic bunch most nights, especially Friday when you go up to sack.
I mean, it's funny, Goo. You mentioned Wiggins. If he doesn't play in crunch time,
gosh.
But you want Kuminga to play in crunch time. So, and that's the issue.
Well, who do you trust more right now? It should, if we're being fair.
We're only one game in.
Yeah, no, just.
All right, Wiggins was terrible.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Wiggins was terrible.
Last year, his whole year was pretty much terrible.
Well, exactly.
Do you think something's going on with his absence last year?
I don't know.
And forget last night.
I don't know.
Is it fair for me to bring that up? It ain't about last night's game. I do wonder,
Ask
Steiny.
Warrior fans that.
Warrior fans, you know what? That's too negative.
Oh.
No, we'll wait.
Oh,
Evan, we'll wait.
It's too negative.
Evan's great hat.
What a shame.
We'll wait 5 games, but I thought him not being out there.
I'll do it. Go
ahead.
Wiggins missed 2.5 months last year. Yes, he came back for the playoffs. Wasn't the same player. I think it's fair to ask, where's Wiggins at right now? That's fair. Well, he floated last night.
Yeah, and I'm not going scholarship. Okay. I thought his profile was big enough and he was a made man to where game 1, even if you were stinking it up, they know what he can do. 2022 NBA Finals, 2022.
Yeah.
So I was a bit shocked that Kuminga got the first chance.
You can't keep living on that 2 years ago.
He was bad last night, man. Not one defensive rebound for Wig.
Here's the other thing.
Minus 22 on the night, plus minus.
You know, Kuminga is a player that's important to this team. And a lot of people want to see him excel, and a lot of people want to see him play down the stretch. Kuminga.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can play him down the stretch, but it doesn't mean it's going to be successful all the time. So Kuminga, last 4 minutes of that game, offensive foul, and he missed a driving layup at 4 minutes, and then he missed. Look, they're down 1.
I counted the free throws.
1 with 1:30 to go. You got to make free throws.
Yeah.
You just do. And one of the things I'm a little worried about with Wiggins is he's just, he's an 18-foot fadeaway. Why is he not going to the basket? I don't think he wants to go to the line. I think there's something there about the foul line.
Let's hope you're wrong there. Because D-Lou the Boss, real quick on YouTube, Wiggins needs to be this team's second best player. And I don't think there's anybody that would deny that.
I think he could get lost this year.
And what I'm scared of, if we see more of these, he's not finishing, I think his DNA mentally, not a doctor, you could lose him.
Well, he's been lost most of his career. 415, Kuminga deserved to close over Wiggins yesterday because he hustled his butt off, got rebounds, got putbacks, made stuff happen.
Yeah, 2 big offensive rebounds. The one for Curry to hit the 3. Remember that?
One more time.
Kuminga got a big rebound off a miss, threw it out. Curry hit the 3 where you thought, okay, something's going on here. But, Steiny, that was one of the worst shooting performances by the Warriors in Chase Center history. That's how, from the field and deep. It was Brick City last night.
The other thing is Klay Thompson, and he didn't make shots last night. Here's where I'm at with Klay Thompson, and and he's a great player. I think the issue with Klay Thompson isn't going to be anything we've seen before. It feels like they're asking him to play. They're asking him basically to play a new position. I mean, they are asking Klay Thompson to essentially play a little bit differently on defense, especially on defense, than he's ever played before. And offensively now it's different too with the implementation of Chris Paul.
It ain't coming as quick, I don't believe.
I don't think it's coming as naturally.
Wow.
And see, the one thing that I could see, and I know everybody, a lot of people are wondering about Klay. I think Klay could have the best intentions this year. I think Klay could want to make it happen as a 4 or as a 3 some nights. And I could see Klay Thompson really trying to do the right thing. But because it's all so new, he just doesn't excel at it, or it's going to take him a while to excel at it. And do you have that kind of time?
36 minutes for Klay.
Why did Klay Thompson played more than anybody else last night?
Yes, he did.
He led the team in minutes. Now that's an upset as far as I'm concerned.